coming to a close, and it's been a very tough year for a lot of people, especially in the celebrity realm. We've lost a ton of celebrities in 2022. Now, I did a poll on my Twitter page, @TheRealJDawg, that's JAYDAWG. And what happened was I did a poll of if I wanted to do a tribute, people want to see it. A roll call, essentially, of those we've lost in 2022, and it was resounding. It was 100%. And now, from January 1st until today, I had to make some slight changes. There was omissions on the Wikipedia page to try to keep up. A couple of people had passed away, some updates. And when I end this, I will give you 4 people in my life locally that I sort of knew that passed away in 2022. Okay, here we go. January 1st, 2022. Max Julien, the actor, the Mac, getting straight, screenwriter for Cleopatra Jones as well. 88, he passed away at 88. Dan Reeves, the legendary football coach of the Denver Broncos and the Atlanta Falcons. He played for the Dallas Cowboys and won a Super Bowl. Got the Falcons to the Super Bowl against the Denver Broncos. He passed away at 77. Ralph Staub, 93. He passed away at 93. Football coach for the Cincinnati Bearcats in college football, the Ohio State University. And he also was the head coach of the Houston Oilers at one time. Now, January 2nd, Larry Blittner, he passed away at age 75. He played for the Chicago Cubs, the Washington Senators, who later became the Texas Rangers, who he played for. Also the Montreal Expos. Bob Halloran of CBS Sports at 87 passed away on January 2nd. Also Traxamillion, the hip-hop producer, passed away at 42 on January 2nd. January 3rd, Odell Barry, he passed away at 80. He played for the Denver Broncos and later became a politician. He became the mayor of North Glen, Colorado from 1980 to 1982. Judd Logan, the 4-time Olympic hammer thrower, passed away at 62. And Jay Volpert, the TV producer for The Price is Right. He was also a screenwriter for Pirates of the Caribbean and The Count of Monte Cristo. He passed away at the age of 79. Now, January 4th, Ross Browner, the Hall of Fame football player for the Cincinnati Bengals and the Green Bay Packers. He passed away at 67. Joan Copeland, the Search for Tomorrow, the Peacemaker, and Brother Bear. She passed away at the age of 99. She didn't make it to 100, got 99. Jim Corsi, former Boston Red Sox and Oakland A's pitcher. I remember him as a TV analyst. I do remember him as a pitcher as well, as a relief pitcher back in the, I think the 90s, I think it was. Will Ellinghaus, he's passed away at 99 as well. Business executive and one of the first presidents of AT&T from 1979 to 1984. AT&T's not that old of a company. I thought it was around for hundreds of years. That's not the case. Then Tom Matchik, he passed away at the age of 78, the baseball player for the Detroit Tigers, the Kansas City Royals, and the Milwaukee Brewers. He won a World Series with those Tigers in 1968. In that classic World Series over the St. Louis Cardinals, who were the reigning, defending, undisputed champs at the time. January 5th, Lawrence Brooks, 112. He was a super centenarian, or centenarian, nation's oldest living man and oldest World War II veteran. Passed away on January 5th at 112. Wow. Dale Clevenger, horn player, Grammy winner in 1994 and 2001. He passed away at 81. Ralph Neely, Super Bowl champion, a 2-time Super Bowl champion with the Dallas Cowboys, passed away at 78. And Greg Robinson, the football coach for Syracuse and UCLA, also was able to be a head coach for the Denver Broncos for a time. He passed away at 70. January 6th, Peter Bogdanovich, at the age of 82, the great film director and occasional actor and writer of The Last Picture Show, What's Up, Doc, and Paper Moon, passed away at 82. Bob Falkenberg, the tennis player and later entrepreneur, he died at 95. Barbara Jacket, 87, the track and field coach. Sidney Poitier, Sir Sidney Poitier, at the age of 94, the great actor and director and an activist, Lilies of the Field, Guess Who's Coming to Dinner, and In the Heat of the Night, They Call Me Mr. Tibbs. Passed away at 94. He won the Oscar in 1963 for Lilies of the Field, and also a Grammy winner as well. I think it was for Best Spoken Language Album. Calvin Simon, the Hall of Fame singer for Parliament Funkadelic, passed away at 79 as well. So a lot of big celebs on January 6th passing away, with Sir Sidney Poitier, Calvin Simon, and Peter Bogdanovich. Ray Boyle as well passed away at 98, the actor. January 7th, Dee Butcher, 73, professional wrestler. She was one of the gorgeous ladies of wrestling, the inspiration for the show Glow. And she was an actress as well. She was in the Brain Smasher, a love story, kind of the horror comedy cult classic. And she was also in Spaceballs. She passed away at the age of 73. Also, Ed Bozick, 71, the Olympic fencer in 1972 and 76. And Mark Forrest, 89, a bodybuilder and actor. He was in Goliath and the Dragon. January 8th, Eddie Basinski, at the age of 99. He played for the Brooklyn Dodgers. Yeah, there's not many players that played for the Brooklyn Dodgers that are still alive today, since they've been in Los Angeles since 1958. He also played for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Marilyn Bergman, songwriter, The Way We Were, The Windmills of Your Mind, and You Don't Bring Me Flowers, pretty much the songwriter for Barbra Streisand. An Oscar winner in 1969, 1974, and 1984. She passed away at 93. Don Dillard, baseball player, passed away at 85. And Michael Lang, the concert producer and one of the co-creators of Woodstock, the first Woodstock. He passed away at the age of 77. January 9th, Jim Bakhtiar, 88, football player. Bill Boomer, 84, swim coach. Dwayne Hickman, the age of 87. He was in the Many Loveless, The Bob Cummings Show, and Cat Ballou, the movie. He was also a TV director as well. James Mattoom, he was a musician and songwriter at Juicy Fruit. It was 1910 Fruit Gum Company, something like that. Yes, I'm trying to remember the name of the band or the group that did that song. And he passed away at 75. And Bob Saget, 65, of course, the comedian, the TV, the actor, the director, the TV presenter for America's Funniest Home Videos, acted in Full House. He was America's Dad, How I Met Your Mother, and also I remember he directed Dirty Work as well. And he was in Half Baked. I liked his raunchy side, I have to say. I didn't like the hug and kiss, hugging and learning side. I didn't like that. When I was a kid, I watched Full House like anyone else. Just as I got older, I appreciated the more raw side to him. January 10th, Don Maynard, the Hall of Fame football player for the New York Titans, who later became the New York Football Jets. He also played for the New York Football Giants and the old St. Louis Cardinals, who are in Arizona now, was a Super Bowl champion with the Joe Willie Namath Jets, and that guarantee in 1969 for the 68 season, of course, beating the Baltimore Colts in Super Bowl III and essentially putting the NFL on the map and making sure the merger is a smooth transaction between the AFL and the NFL. That's why the Jets and the Colts are still in the AFC. That's one of the reasons. But Don Maynard, one of the greats. January 11th, Jerry Crutchfield, country and pop record producer, songwriter, and musician. He passed away at 87. And Richard Fulmer, he was passed away at the age of 79. The actor, and he was in Mad Money. He was in Straw Dogs. January 12th, Ronnie Spector, 78, singer and lead singer of the Ronettes. You know, those great Christmas songs. Ronnie Spector, also that great 80s comeback with Take Me Home Tonight with Eddie Money. Eddie Money has since passed on. But Ronnie Spector passed away at age 78 on January 12th. January 13th, Junior C of E, football player for the Kansas City Chiefs, the Dallas Cowboys, and the Seattle Seahawks. He passed away at the age of 43. And Sonny Turner of the Platters, singer, passed away at 83. January 14th, Carol Speed, the actress in Abby, Disco Godfather, and Dynamite Brothers, big-time actress in the 70s. She passed away in passed away at 76. January 15th, Rink Bobka, 85, the discus thrower and Olympic silver medalist in 1960. Ed Cheff, the college baseball coach of Lewis Clark State College, passed away at the age of 78. Ralph Emery, the Hall of Fame disc jockey and TV host, passed away at 88. Joe B. Hall, the Hall of Fame basketball coach for the Kentucky Wildcats, passed away at 93. John Lind, Save the Best for Last and Crazy for You. Save the Best for Last, of course, was Vanessa Williams, a big number one for her in 1992. And Crazy for You by Madonna, which was Madonna's first number one from a soundtrack from Vision Quest. I absolutely love that song. I have that, by the way, on my 80s soundtracks, not 80s, on my Soundtrack Smashes playlist on this channel, by the way. I absolutely love that song. And John Lind wrote that song. He passed away at the age of 73. Now we go to January 16th with Ethan Blackaby, the baseball player who passed away at 81. And Brian DeLunas, the baseball coach for the Seattle Mariners. He was a bench coach, or a third base coach, I should say, and Missouri Tigers as well. He passed away at age 46. Staying in January 16th, Richard Ferris, the business executive for United Airlines. Charles McGee, at 102, Ferris, by the way, passed away at 85. Charles McGee, the fighter pilot for the Air Force and the Army Air Force, is a member of the Tuskegee Airmen, a Congressional Medal recipient, passed away at 102. There aren't many Tuskegee Airmen left either. Gail Wade, the baseball player for the Chicago Cubs, he passed away at the age of 92. We now go to January 18th. Ron Franklin of ESPN, the sportscaster, passed away at 79. Dick Halligan of Blood, Sweat, and Tears. And he was also a film composer as well. Go Tell the Spartans in Fear City. He won a Grammy in 1970. Passed away at the age of 78. Lucia Harris, Hall of Fame basketball player for Delta State, the Lady Statesman, and the Houston Angels before the WNBA happened, of course. She was an Olympic silver medalist in 1976. She passed away at 66. Now we go to January 19th, and Bob Goldby, the professional golfer, passed away at 92. He won the 1968 Masters, a tradition unlike any other, and Goldby won the Masters in 1968. He passed away at the age of 92 on January 19th. Also, Leland Bird, 94, basketball player, coach, and athletics administrator at West Virginia, the Mountaineers. He passed away at 94. We now go to January 20th, and here's one of the big ones, like Bob Saget, one of the big celebrities, Meatloaf, Marvin Lee Ade, passed away at the age of 74, singing he was the singer, 2 Out of 3 Ain't Bad, I'd Do Anything for Love, but I Won't Do That, his first and only number one. An actor as well, the Rocky Horror Picture Show. I remember him in Monk, Mr. Monk, and the Voodoo Curse. He was Hadley Jorgensen. He was a voodoo priest, essentially. He would lift curses off people, or, He passed away at the age of 74. January 21st, someone that I actually met, Louis Anderson. I saw his show at the Capitol Center for the Arts in 2016 in Concord. I got to meet him on the phone. I got to meet him in person. Great guy. Passed away at the age of 68. Comedian and actor. Baskets. He won an Emmy in 2015 as Christine Baskets. Great show. Life with Louie. I grew up with Life with Louie. I could imitate him as a kid. I could imitate his dad. Game show host of Family Feud. Passed away at the age of 68. Rex Colley, the Olympic hurdler, he passed away at 81 on January 21st. James Forbes, the basketball player, passed away at age 69. He was an Olympic silver medalist in 1972. Mace Newfield, the film producer for The Hunt for Red October, Invictus, and The Equalizer, passed away at the Mace Neufeld passed away at the age of 93. January 23rd, B.G. Adair, the jazz pianist, passed away at the age of 94. Actually, let me go back to January 22nd. My mistake. I'll go back to the 22nd. Catherine Cates, The Many Saints of Newark, Law and Order SVU, and Shades of Blue. She passed away at the age of 73. Joe Ukasa, he passed away at age 90. College football player and coach for the Dartmouth Big Green, Boston College Eagles, and UNH, your New Hampshire Wildcats. Passed away at age 90. Joe it's Ukasa. B.G. Adair has passed away at 84, January 23rd. January 24th, John Arriaga, a real estate developer and philanthropist, died at 84. Ron Esau, the racing driver, passed away at 67. Sheldon Silver, politician, let's see, yes, he was a speaker in New York State Assembly, passed away at the age of 77, Sheldon Silver. We go to Judd Bernard at age 94, film producer and screenwriter, passed away at the age of 94 on January 25th. January 26th, Morgan Stevens, the actor, Fame, A Year in the Life, and Melrose Place, passed away at age 70. And Tim Van Galder, the football player for the old St. Louis Cardinals and broadcaster, he passed away at 77. We go to January 27th, and Gene Clines, the baseball player for the Pittsburgh Pirates, the Chicago Cubs, and the Texas Rangers, won a World Series with the Buccos in 1971. He passed away at age 75. We now go to January 29th, and Marty Engel, the Olympic hammer thrower, passed away at age 90. David Green, the Nicaraguan-born baseball player, passed away at 61. Howard Hessman, actor at WKRP in Cincinnati, Clue, This is Spinal Tap. He was in Head of the Class. He passed away at age 81. I remember, of course, WKRP in Cincinnati, and This is Spinal Tap, but I also remember Head of the Class because I believe he was the star of the show, because he was the teacher, or the principal, I think he was the principal and teacher, and he had different methods that would get these kind of troubled kids to learn. That's what I can surmise from watching glimpses of that show in the 80s. On ABC, by the way. TGIF, right? Lee Shapiro, the sports broadcaster for CBS Sports at ESPN, died at 65 on January 29th. And John Singlov, the military officer and co-founder of Western Goals Foundation, he passed away at age 100 on January 29th. We end the month of January on the 30th with John Appleton, composer and educator and pioneer in electroacoustic music. He passed away at 83. Jeff Innes, the baseball player for the New York Mets, passed away at 59. And Chesley Christ, she died at 30. She was a TV presenter or a host, reporter essentially on Extra. She was also Miss USA 2019, a beauty queen. It was kind of rather shocking that she did pass away so young at 30 on January 30th. All right, let me get a swig of water and we can go on to February. I'm here until we do December 31st. Here we go, February 2nd. Bill Fitch, the Hall of Fame basketball coach for the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Boston Celtics, and the Houston Rockets. He coached the Celtics to an NBA championship in 1981, one of three that the Celtics had in the 80s, 81, 84, and 86. He passed away at the age of 89. Willie Leacox, the drummer for America, he passed away at age 74. Gloria Rojas, the TV journalist, Eyewitness News, Like It Is, she passed away at 82. We go to February 3rd, and Mike Moore, the baseball executive. He was president of the National Association of Professional Baseball Leagues, or the National League, from 1991 to 2007. He passed away at 80. And John Sanders, the baseball player for the Kansas City A's. Yes, the Kansas City Athletics before they were the Oakland Athletics. Before they were the Kansas City Athletics, they were the Philadelphia Athletics. But John Sanders played for the KC Athletics. And he was a coach of the Nebraska Court as well. He passed away at 76. February 5th, Santonio Beard, football player for Alabama Crimson Tide. I think he won at least one national title there. He passed away at 41. Oscar Chaplin III, the Olympic weightlifter, passed away at 41 as well. And the professional bodybuilder Tom Prince passed away at the age of 52. We go to February 8th. Bill Leinhardt, age 92. Basketball player who was an Olympic champion in 1952. Gerald Williams passed away at the age of 55. He played for a lot of teams. Baseball player for the New York Yankees, Atlanta Braves, Tampa Bay Devil Rays before they were the Rays, Milwaukee Brewers, Florida Marlins before they were the Miami Marlins, and New York Mets. Didn't he get in a fight with Pedro Martinez when Pedro played for the Red Sox, and Williams played for the Tampa Bay Devil Rays? I think he did. I think Gerald Williams got into a big fiasco with Pedro. Because I think Pedro threw at him and he lost his temper and charged the mound. I'm pretty sure that was Gerald Williams. February 9th, Betty Davis. No, not Bette Davis, like Betty Davis Eyes, the actress. This is the funk and soul singer, Betty Davis, Betty Davis. She passed away at 77. Candy Devine, professional wrestler. She passed away at age 60. Jeremy Giambi, baseball player for the Kansas City Royals, the Oakland A's, Philadelphia Phillies, and Boston Red Sox, who was implicated in that Balco steroid performance-enhancing substances scandal. His brother Jason Giambi as well, a lot more famous. But Jeremy Giambi passed away at the age of 47 on February 9th. We go to February 10th. Duval Hecht, Olympic rower and publisher, passed away at the age of 91. Elvin Jones, baseball player for the Seattle Mariners, passed away at 58. Ivan Reitman, 75, the Czechoslovakian-born Canadian film director and producer, producing Ghostbusters, Meatballs, Kindergarten Cop, and also founder and owner of the Montecito Picture Company, because he wanted his own studio company. He didn't want to have to rely on Columbia Pictures to pump out more content at a time where he was burnt out. His son Jason Reitman is a producer and director as well. I believe Ivan Reitman also, I believe he also was a producer of Howard Stern's Private Parts as well, the movie that's now 25 years old. Hey now. February 14th, Valentine's Day. Mickey Henson, the professional wrestling referee for WCW and WWE, passed away at 59. February 15th, Bill Dando, the football player and coach, passed away at 89. And P.J. O'Rourke, the humorist for the National Lampoon, journalist and author, Give War a Chance. He wrote in Rolling Stone magazine in the 90s and the 2000s, had very popular columns on the conservative side, but he also passed away. I believe he had a home in New Hampshire. I don't know if he passed away in New Hampshire, but I remember he had a home in New Hampshire. And a lot of his articles that he wrote for Rolling Stone magazine, he wrote them from his office, his home office in New Hampshire. I'm sure he had an office in New York or wherever Rolling Stone magazine is. It's probably all digital now. Well, I know Rolling Stone magazine isn't digital. I see it on newsstands. I just mean in terms of the content where the journalists are that write the articles. I'm pretty sure they don't have an office set anymore. It's just the way it is now in publishing, especially with newspapers and magazines, the tabloids, essentially. It's all online now. February 17th, Charlie Milstead, the football player for the Houston Oilers, passed away at 84. David Tyson, R&B singer for the Manhattans, passed away at age 62. And Clarence Williams, football player he started at Florida State but played for the Buffalo Bills professionally. He passed away at the age of 47 on February 17th. We go to February 18th, and Lindsay Perlman. This was kind of a shocker, rather young. 43, actress in General Hospital in Chicago Justice. She passed away at 43 on February 18th. February 19th, Bert Cohn, the football player at age 81. That's on February 19th. As well as Charlie Taylor, Hall of Fame football player for Washington, and he was a coach as well. He passed away at age 80. Julio Cruz passed away, the baseball player for the Seattle Mariners and Chicago White Sox. He passed away at 67 on February 22nd. Ken Burrow on February 24th, the football player for the Houston Oilers and the New Orleans Saints, passed away at 73. Sally Kellerman, actress in MASH, Back to School. She became the love interest of Rodney Dangerfield's, "Hey, I'm going to graduate," in Back to School. And she was also in Brewster McCloud as well. She passed away at the age of 84. Lionel James, the football player for the San Diego Chargers, passed away at the age of 59. And Dick Versace, basketball coach for the Indiana Pacers at one time, passed away at age 81. We end February 25th on a shocker as well, kind of. Farrah Fork, the actress in Wings, Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman, passed away at the age of 54. I remember her being on Wings as the love interest of Steven Weber's character, I believe. Yes. Was it Brian Hackett? No. Yes, I think it was Brian Hackett. Joe Hackett was Tim Daly. But Farrah Fork passing away in February. We go to March 1st, Conrad Janis. Yowza, yowza, yowza. 94, musician and actor. Mork and Mindy, Margie, and That Hagen Girl passed away at age 94. And Katie Meyer, the NCAA champion with the Stanford Cardinal soccer player. She passed away at the age of 22. I'm quite sure it was suicide. She was born in 2000, so she passed away at age 22. March 2nd, Shane Olivier passed away. He was a football player also for the San Diego Chargers. He passed away at 40 on March 2nd. We go to March 4th, Terry Cooney, the baseball umpire, passed away at 88. And Mitchell Ryan, the actor who was on Dharma and Greg, Dark Shadows, also Lethal Weapon, he passed away at the age of 88 on March 4th. We go to March 5th, Jeff Howell, the rock bassist for Foghat and the Outlaws, passed away at age 60. Roy Winston, the football player for the Minnesota Vikings, passed away at the age of 81. March 7th, we go local. Rennie Cushing, politician, four-time New Hampshire member of the New Hampshire House of Representatives, had a battle with cancer and passed away at the age of 69 on March 7th. We go to March 8th, Johnny Greer, the first official in the NFL, first black referee. At the age of 74, Johnny Greer passed away on March 8th. And Jim Richards, football player for the New York Football Jets, passed away at age 75 on March 8th. March 10th, Emilio Delgado of Sesame Street fame passed away at the age of 81. Dallas Perez, who I remember playing for the Kansas City Royals and Atlanta Braves. That's right, he also played for the Los Angeles Dodgers as well. He passed away at the age of 44 on March 10th. March 12th, Barry Bailey, rock guitarist for the Atlanta Rhythm section, passed away at age 73. And Tracy Braxton, Tony Braxton's sister from Braxton's and the Braxton Family Values TV show, she passed away at 50, the R&B singer, on March 12th. March 13th, William Hurt, Kiss of the Spider-Woman, Broadcast News, The Incredible Hulk. He was an Oscar winner for, I believe he was an Oscar winner for, was he Oscar winner for Children of a Lesser God or Broadcast News? It was one of those two, I think. But he passed away on March 13th at the age of 71. That's my birthday, by the way. Tom Brady came out of retirement that day as well. Charles Green on March 14th, the sprinter Olympic champion 1968 and retired U.S. Army officer, passed away at age 76. And Razor Ramon, a.k.a. Scott Hall, passed away at the age of 63 on March 14th. Oye, hey yo, Chico, Mr. Oozing Machismo, Scott Hall. I remember him as Razor Ramon, of course, when I was a little boy. And he really was oozing machismo. And, of course, I remember as a professional wrestler in the 80s when he was just Scott Hall. And he did battle a lot of demons, alcoholism and drugs, for the 90s and the 2000s. But passed away at the age of 63 on March 14th. March 15th, Mario Greer, football player for the New England Patriots, passed away at the age of 50. March 16th, Ralph Terry, baseball player for the New York Yankees, Kansas City Athletics, and New York Mets. He was a two-time World Series champion with the Yankees in 1961 and 1962. Passed away at the age of 86, Ralph Terry. March 18th, John Clayton, the professor, they called him on ESPN. He was 67, a Hall of Fame sports writer and reporter for ESPN. Bobby Weinstein, age 82, songwriter, Going Out of My Head, It's Gonna Take a Miracle, and I'm on the outside looking in. Passed away at age 82. Going Out of My Head, I think that's Little Anthony and the Imperials. It's Gonna Take a Miracle. That's not Barry Manilow, is it? No, I think that's a different, because he had a song with a miracle as well. It's Gonna Take a Miracle. So I think that was an R&B song. I'm on the outside looking in as well. March 20th, Tom Young, basketball coach of Rutgers Catholic University at Old Dominion, passed away at age 89 on March 20th. March 22nd, we had El Nardo Webster, a basketball player for the New York Nets, passed away at age 74. March 23rd, Madeleine Albright, age 84, Czech-born politician, first female U.S. Secretary of State from 1997 to 2001 in the Bill Clinton administration. She was also a U.S. ambassador to the United Nations during the Clinton administration from 1993 to 1997. So she went from U.S. ambassador to the UN from 93 to 97, the first part of Bill Clinton's presidency. And then the second part of Bill Clinton's presidency, she became the first female Secretary of State from 97 to 01. Next, we have on March 24th, Harold Aiken, the football player for the San Diego Chargers, passed away at age 77. Kirk Baptiste, the Olympic sprinter and silver medalist, age of 59. 1984, those unforgettable Summer Olympic Games back in, it was, Los Angeles. How can I forget that? I was one. Because I still talk about the 1984 Olympics to this very day. That's how much of an impact it had. That's how good it was. Gil Stein, president of the National Hockey League. He was the last guy before Gary Bettman became the first commissioner of the NHL. He was basically John Ziegler died and John Ziegler didn't die. John Ziegler moved on because he was the president of the NHL. And Gil Stein, it was a lawyer, like I think Bettman's a lawyer too. They're all lawyers. They're all lawyers. They all law. And then they become the commissioner or president of the NHL. Well, that's what Gil Stein was originally, and then became the last president of the NHL in the 92-93 season. He died at 94. I have some of his pucks, his in Glasgow official on-ice pucks that were, silhouetted on his name. His name's on the back of them. I do have a couple, I believe. So, as well, I do with John Ziegler as well. So they're collector's items in that sense, I guess. March 25th, Taylor Hawkins of the Foo Fighters, the drummer, passed away at 50. He was also on Taylor Hawkins and the Coattail Riders and the Birds of Satan, passed away at age 50. And Catherine Hayes, 88, actress, As the World Turns, passed away on March 25th. March 26th, Joe Williams, college basketball coach for Florida State, Furman, and Jacksonville, the Jacksonville Dolphins, passed away at the age of 88. March 27th, Joan Joyce, Hall of Fame softball player, and also a PGA golfer as well in the LPGA Tour. LPGA, not PGA, LPGA Tour. 81. And Rocky King, professional wrestler and referee for WCW, passed away. It's not known if he was 61 or 62. It's that time frame. March 28th, Marvin J. Chomsky, TV director for Roots, The Wild Wild West, and Star Trek, passed away at the age of 92. March 29th, Paul Herman, actor in The Sopranos, passed away at age 76. March 30th, we have Martin Hokerts, football player for Washington and the Miami Dolphins. He passed away at age 53. Bill Sylvester, football player for Butler. He passed away at the age of 93. We end March 31st with Shirley Berkovich, who passed away at the age of 89. She was a baseball player for the Rockford Peaches, one of the inspirations for A League of Their Own, a great baseball movie, the Springfield Sallies and the Chicago Colleens. We end March 31st with Sally Berkovich passing away at the age of 89. We now go to April. We're now in the fourth month of 2022. April 1st, C.W. McCall, the country singer, convoy, and musician. He also became the mayor of Ouray, Colorado from 1986 to 1992. He passed away at the age of 93. April 2nd, Estelle Harris. She was George Costanza's mom in Seinfeld, and she was also in Toy Story as well. Great voice there. She passed away at the age of 93. Joseph DeClerico Jr., 81. He was a jurist and a judge since 1992, a chief judge from 1992 to 1997 for the U.S. District Court for New Hampshire. He passed away at the age of 81. And Gerald Schreck, the sailor and Olympic champion in 1968's Olympic Games, passed away at the age of 83. April 3rd, Tommy Davis, baseball player for the Los Angeles Dodgers, Baltimore Orioles, and Oakland A's, and he was also a bench coach as well. He was a World Series champion in 1963 for LA, passed away at 83. Stan Parrish, former head football coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Ball State Cardinals, and Michigan Wolverines, who are in action right now against TCU. He passed away at the age of 75, Stan Parrish. And Gene Shue, basketball player for the Fort Wayne, then eventual Detroit Pistons, New York Knicks, and he also coached the Baltimore into Washington Bullets as well, who are now the Washington Wizards. Gene Shue, passing away at the age of 90. April 4th, Kathy Lampkin, actress, No Country for Old Men, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and The Astronaut Farmer. She passed away at age 84. She got fame later on, as I just mentioned, No Country for Old Men. She really became more famous towards the end of her life than in the beginning. And Joe Messina, the Hall of Fame guitarist for the Funk Brothers, passed away at the age of 93. We now go to April 5th. John Ellis, baseball player for the New York Yankees, Texas Rangers, and Cleveland as well. He passed away at age 73, not 37, 73. Nehemiah Persov, who I believe was on The Twilight Zone, an episode of The Twilight Zone at one time, the old Twilight Zone, passed away at 102. He was in Some Like It Hot, An American Tale, and Yentl. Lee Rose, college basketball coach for the Charlotte 49ers, Purdue Boilermakers, and South Florida Bulls, passed away at 85. Bobby Rydell, singer, Wild One, Wildwood Days, an actor who was in Bye Bye Birdie, passed away at the age of 79. And Doug Sutherland, this football player for the Minnesota Vikings and Seattle Seahawks, passed away at the age of 73 on April 5th. April 6th, Ray Allen, actress, and Miss Reardon Drinks a Little in A League of Their Own, as well as Stargate. She was a Tony Award winner in 1971, passed away at the age of 95. And Mark Conover, the Olympic runner, passed away at the age of 61 on April 6th. We go to April 7th. Rayfield Wright, this Hall of Fame football player for the Dallas Cowboys. He won 2 Super Bowls with the boys in 1971 and 1977. He passed away at the age of 76. April 9th, Jim Bronstad, baseball player for the Washington Senators and the New York Yankees. He passed away at the age of 85. Dwayne Haskins, football player for the Pittsburgh Steelers and Washington. He died at 24. I remember that one because I believe he ran into traffic and tragically passed away. 24, too young. Dick Swatland, the football coach for the Houston Oilers, passed away at the age of 76 on April 9th. April 10th, Gary Brown, the football player for the Houston Oilers, the New York Football Giants, and the San Diego Chargers, and he was also a coach, passed away at the age of 52. John Drew, the basketball player for the Atlanta Hawks and the Utah Jazz, he passed away at the age of 67. We now go to April 11th, and Wayne Cooper, basketball player for the Portland Trail Blazers and the Denver Nuggets and Golden State Warriors, passed away at the age of 65. Joe Horland, the baseball player for the Chicago White Sox and Oakland A's. He was one of the members of the 1972 World Series champion Athletics. He passed away at age 84. And Chip Myrtle, former football player for the Denver Broncos. He passed away at the age of 76. We go to April 12th, and Gilbert Gottfried, 67, actor, comedian, was in Disney's Aladdin, Beverly Hills Cop 2. He was the fodder on the Howard Stern Show for many, many years, and passed away at 67. Became a big star on Cameo and was making a ton of money off Cameo. He already had enough money from the residuals off of doing commercials. Controversial Aflac Duck, controversial in the sense that, of course, he was dropped after some insensitive comments about the whole Fukushima incident back in 2011. Shirley Spork passed away at the age of 84, golfer and co-founder of the LPGA Tour. April 15th, Ed Jasper, football player for the Atlanta Falcons, Philadelphia Eagles, and then, at the time, Oakland Raiders. They're now the Las Vegas Raiders. He died at 49. And it's unbelievable that George Costanza's mom passes away at the beginning of April. In the middle of April, Jerry's mother passes away. Jerry Seinfeld's mother on TV, not actual mother. Liz Sheridan, actress, 93. She was on Seinfeld. She was fantastic as Helen Seinfeld. She was on Elf. I remember her from that. I believe she was also a voice on Life with Louie as well, and also Play the Game. She passed away at age 93. April 17th, Roderick Pooh Clark, R&B singer of High Five, passed away at age 49. on April 17th. April 19th, Garland Boyette, the football player for the Houston Oilers and the old St. Louis Cardinals, had some success with the Montreal Alouettes in the CFL. He passed away at age 82 on April 19th. April 20th, Robert Morse, the actor, How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying, Where Were You When the Lights Went Out, and Mad Men. He was a Tony winner in 1962 and 1990. Passed away at the age of 90 on April 20th. April 21st, a local story, a local death. John DeStaso, journalist for the New Hampshire Union Leader as well as WMUR News 9 television. He passed away at the age of 68 on April 21st. Darryl LaMonica, the Mad Bomber, football player for the Oakland Raiders, got them to the Super Bowl, by the way, also played for the Buffalo Bills. He passed away at the age of 80. The second Super Bowl, I believe, between the Green Bay Packers and the Oakland Raiders was Darryl LaMonica, I believe, as quarterback of that team, of the Raiders. April 22nd, Clayton Wiesen, football player for the New England Patriots and the Green Bay Packers. He passed away at the age of 62. He died tragically in a traffic collision on April 22nd. Orrin Hatch, the longtime politician, member of the U.S. Senate from 1977 to 2019. And he was the dean of the Senate from 2013 to 2019. He passed away at the age of 88. U.S. Senate in Utah. Was known as reaching across the aisle, known for that as well. Bipartisanship back during, I guess, the Clinton days, and I guess to a degree the Bush and the George W. Bush and Barack Obama administrations as well. More so in the Clinton administration than the other administrations. April 24th, John Stofa, the football player for the Miami Dolphins, passed away at age 79. April 25th, Andrew Woolfolk, Hall of Fame saxophonist for Earth, Wind, and Fire, passed away at age 71 on April 25th. April 26th, Luke Allen, the baseball player for the Los Angeles Dodgers and the Colorado Rockies. He passed away at 43. Randy Rand, bassist for the band Autograph, turn up the radio. He passed away at 62. April 27th, David Burney, a longtime actor, St. Elsewhere, Bridget Loves Bernie, and Oh God, Book 2. And he was a stage director as well, passed away at the age of 83 on April 27th. And we close out April with Naomi Judd, the legendary country singer of the Judds, passed away at age 76 on April 30th. We now go to May. May 1st, Charlie Siebert, actor, Trapper John M.D., and Justice for All, and One Day at a Time, the actor passed away at age 84. Jerry Verdorn, the actor, One Life to Live in Guiding Light, longtime soap opera actor, passed away at age 72. May 4th, Kenny Moore, the Olympic runner, he participated in the 1968 and 72 Summer Olympic Games, passed away at the age of 78. May 5th, Devonta Lampkin, the football player for the Tennessee Titans, passed away at the age of 25, rather young. Mike Haggerty, actor, he was on Seinfeld, Somebody Somewhere. He was also he was in Wayne's World. He passed away at the age of 67. I believe he was a Chicago-based actor as well. He had the accent. Bill Lasky, football player for the old Oakland Raiders and old Baltimore Colts, who are now the Indianapolis Colts and have been that since 1984. He passed away at 79. May 7th, Mickey Gilley, the singer, Roomful of Roses, Don't Let the Girls All Get Prettier at Closing Time, and Stand By Me. He was in the movie, Stand By Me was also in the movie Urban Cowboy, because he was in that movie as well. He passed away at the age of 86. Jack Keller, actor, The Big Lebowski, Men in Black 2, and Fever Pitch, died at 75. And Bruce McVitie, actor, $1 Million Baby, The Sopranos, and American Buffalo, he passed away at the age of 65. That was on May 7th. May 8th, Fred Ward, actor, Escape from Alcatraz, The Right Stuff, Tremors, and also Naked Gun 33 and a Third, The Final Insult. He died at 79. I remember Escape from Alcatraz. That was a Clint Eastwood movie, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure it was. May 9th, Adrian Payne, Adrian Payne. He died at 31. He was a basketball player for the Atlanta Hawks and Minnesota Timberwolves. He passed away on May 9th. May 10th, Walter Hirsch, the basketball player for the Kentucky Wildcats back in the day, passing away at the age of 92. Bob Lanier, the Hall of Fame basketball player for the Detroit Pistons and Milwaukee Bucks. He coached the Golden State Warriors as well, coached the Dubs at one time. He passed away at the age of 73. May 12th, Gino Cappelletti, who I met, by the way, on the telephone. Never met him in person. Wish I did, though. He should be in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I'm counting on Ken Kale and Tom Raffio to draft some legislation to make that happen for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. He's already in the New England Patriots Hall of Fame, but he played for the Boston Patriots and scored all kinds of records as a kicker. Gino Cappelletti, 89 when he passed away. Him and Gil Santos made those New England Patriots broadcasts come to life on the radio. They really did. You had Gil Santos on play-by-play and Gino Cappelletti, of course, being the action analyst, and they were both fantastic. And Gino Cappelletti on May 12th, passing away at age 89. May 14th, Arthur Sherlock, the Olympic gymnast in 1964, passed away at the age of 84. David West, the baseball player for the Minnesota Twins, Philadelphia Phillies, and New York Mets, passed away at the age of 57. May 15th, Maggie Peterson, an actress and a location manager for the movie Casino. She was a location manager for that. I'm surprised she didn't get a role in that because she was on the Andy Griffith Show, and the Bill Dana Show, passing away at the age of 81 on May 15th. May 16th, John Elward, actor, the ER, The West Wing, A Million Ways to Die in the West, passed away at age 75. May 17th, Marnie Schoenberg, and this was a shocker too because she was rather young, 37. Actress, As the World Turns, One Life to Live, and also in Tainted Dreams, which I believe was a made-for-TV movie. But As the World Turns and One Life to Live were soap operas, and Marnie Schoenberg was only 37 when she passed away on May 17th. May 20th, Roger Angel, 101 years of age, sports writer and author. He wrote a Season Ticket, a Baseball Companion. Calvin McGee, football player for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, as well as a coach for the Arizona Wildcats and the West Virginia Mountaineers, passed away at the age of 59. We now move on to later May. May 21st, Gordy Windhorn, baseball player for the New York Yankees, passed away at the age of 88. May 22nd, Lee Lawson, soap opera actress, Guiding Light and One Life to Live, passed away at the age of 80. May 23rd, Joe Pignatano, baseball player for the Los Angeles Dodgers, Kansas City A's, as well as a coach for the New York Mets. He was a bench coach. World Series champion for those Dodgers in 1959, their first one in Los Angeles. He died at 92 on May 23rd. May 24th, Bob Miller, the baseball player for the Detroit Tigers, Cincinnati Reds, and New York Mets, passed away at the age of 86. And John Thompson, the football executive for the Minnesota Vikings and Seattle Seahawks, passed away at the age of 95. I believe he was the first executive in Minnesota Vikings history, as well as the first executive in Seattle Seahawks history. Vikings became a team in the NFL in 1961, and the Seattle Seahawks became a team in the mid-70s. I want to say 76 with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It might have been 75, though. That was May 24th. May 26th, Ray Liotta, great actor, an Emmy winner in 2005, by the way. Goodfellas, Something Wild, Field of Dreams. Passed away at the age of 67. He was great in Copland as well. And George Shapiro, who you saw in Man on the Moon as Danny DeVito portraying him, but George Shapiro was an American talent. He was talent manager for Carl Reiner and Andy Kaufman, as well as a TV producer for Seinfeld. Passed away at the age of 91, and was really instrumental in getting Seinfeld off the ground. And also, fun fact, okay? Now, Carl Reiner, as you know, his son is Rob Reiner. Rob Reiner runs Castle Rock Entertainment, and it was only a matter of time before that George Shapiro would get Seinfeld for Castle Rock Entertainment, because kind of a wink and a nudge, I managed your dad, Carl Reiner. How about you manage this show called Seinfeld, Mr. Rob Reiner? And we will do that. And it was a great partnership. It really was. But Castle Rock Entertainment was one of the spearheads for Seinfeld and why it was able to kind of be on the air for all those years, because they had complete faith in it when NBC in the beginning didn't. Next, May 27th, Don Goldstein, basketball player for the Louisville Cardinals. He was a Pan American gold medalist in 1959, passed away at the age of 84. And Arlene Cotel, a baseball player for the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League. She passed away at age 88, one of the inspirations for a league of their own. We go to May 28th, and Bo Hopkins, the Wild Bunch American Graffiti, a Midnight Express actor. He passed away at the age of 84. May 29th, Alden Roche, football player for the Green Bay Packers, Seattle Seahawks, and Denver Broncos. He passed away at the age of 77. May 30th, Jeff Gladney, the football player for the Minnesota Vikings, attended TCU, the Horned Frogs, who are playing the Michigan Wolverines right now in the Verbo Fiesta Bowl. Passed away at the age of 25. Costin Shockley, the baseball player for the Philadelphia Phillies and Los Angeles Angels, he passed away at the age of 80. And we end the month of May, on May 31st, with Bart Bryant, the golfer, passing away at the age of 59. We get a swig of water. And move on to the month of June. If you don't drop all my papers first. Hang on. Hang loose. Hang loose. Hang loose. Uh-oh. 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 Ruh-roh. Oh, boy. Hold on. Hate it when this happens. I really do. I hate it when this happens. Okay. That's July. That's August, right? Okay. Just keep it together, dog. Keep it together. June 1st. Are we ready for June 1st? Okay, hold on. June 1st. Okay. Marion Barber III, the football player for the Dallas Cowboys and Chicago Bears, passed away at the age of 38 on June 1st. The football player for the Kansas City Chiefs, Frank Manuelga, 66. He passed away then. Mark Schaefer, the baseball player for the San Diego Padres, passed away on June 1st. June 2nd, Hal Bynum, the songwriter for Lucille and Chains, and Papa Was a Good Man, basically Little Richard's songwriter, essentially, passed away at the age of 87. Paul Capo, Olympic ice hockey player, 1964, played hockey, passed away at the age of 83. June 4th, Verrill Switzer, football player for the Green Bay Packers, and he also played in the CFL for the most part for the Calgary Stampeders and Montreal Alouettes, or Montreal Alouettes, passed away at the age of 89. Alex Such, bassist and founding member of Bon Jovi, passed away at age 70 on June 4th. June 5th, Trouble, the rapper, passed away at the age of 34. June 6th, Jim Seals, one half of Seals and Crofts, as well as the Champs, and so he was a songwriter for Cool Summer Breeze, Makes Me Feel Fine. He wrote Summer Breeze, passed away at the age of 80. June 7th, Robert Alexander, the football player for the Los Angeles Rams, passed away at 64. Isaac Berger, weightlifter and Olympic champion in 1956, passed away at the age of 85. Frank Cipriani, baseball player for the Kansas City Athletics, passed away at the age of 81. June 8th, Rocky Freitas, the football player for the Detroit Lions and Tampa Bay Buccaneers, passed away at the age of 76. George Thompson, the basketball player for the Milwaukee Bucks, passed away at the age of 74. June 9th, Don Perkins, football player for the Dallas Cowboys, passed away at the age of 84. June 12th, Philip Baker Hall, you know, the book cop, Joe Bookman from Seinfeld, as well as Boogie Nights, Magnolia, Zodiac, Rush Hour, great actor, passed away at the age of 90. I remember him as Salvatore Lucarelli in Mr. Monk Meets the Godfather. He was the Godfather in Mr. Monk Meets the Godfather back in 2004. That was season 3. Chopping up fish heads. June 14th, Everett Peck, 71, animator for Duckman, Squirrel Boy, and The Critic, passed away at 71. Joel Whitburn, who pretty much, I don't want to say founded Billboard, but his name is synonymous with Billboard magazine because he was a publisher and author and music historian. Joel Whitburn passed away at the age of 82. June 17th, Dave Hebner, one half of Earl and Dave Hebner, the referee for the WWF at the time, professional wrestling referee. He passed away at 73. Hugh McElhaney, the Hall of Fame football player for the San Francisco 49ers, Minnesota Vikings, New York Football Giants, and Detroit Lions, passed away at the age of 93 on June 17th. June 18th, Lenny Rosenbluth, the basketball player for the Philadelphia Warriors. Before they were the Golden State Warriors, before they were the Dubs on the left coast, they were the Dubs on the east coast during the Wilt Chamberlain days, Philadelphia. He passed away at 89. Dave Wickersham, baseball player for the Kansas City Athletics, Detroit Tigers, Pittsburgh Pirates, and Kansas City Royals. He passed away at 86. June 19th, Brett Tuggle, keyboardist for Fleetwood Mac and David Lee Roth. He wrote Just Like Paradise for David Lee Roth. This must be just like living in paradise. I have that on my 80s playlist as well on my YouTube channel. Passed away at the age of 70. And Tim White, Andre the Giant's best friend and travel confidant, also a professional wrestling referee for WWE, passed away at the age of 68. June 20th, Joe Staten, the baseball player for the Detroit Tigers, passed away at the age of 74. Moving on to June 20, still staying on June 20th. Caleb Swanigan, basketball player, he was at Purdue in college, played for the Portland Trail Blazers and Sacramento Kings. He passed away tragically at the age of 25. June 21st, Jalen Ferguson, football player for the Baltimore Ravens. He started at Louisiana Tech as in college. He passed away at 26. Brig Owens, football player for the Dallas Cowboys as well as Washington. He passed away at 79 on June 21st. June 22nd, Alexander Jefferson, the age of 100, USAF officer for the Tuskegee Airmen. He died at 100. Willie Morrow, businessman and inventor of the Afro Pick, died at age 82. Tony Siragusa, football player for the Indianapolis Colts and Baltimore Ravens, won a Super Bowl with the Ravens. As sportscaster for Fox, he also hosted Man Caves on TV. Passed away at the age of 55. And Bruton Smith, Hall of Fame motorsports promoter, Speedway Motorsports, New Hampshire Motor Speedway. He bought that years ago from Bob Barr, who passed away in 2020. Bruton Smith died at the age of 95. June 25th, Bill Woolsey, try that again. Bill Woolsey, Olympic swimmer and champion of the 1952 Olympic Games. Was it a swimmer? He passed away at 87. Mary Mara, 61 on June 26th, actress, Nash Bridges, Law & Order, ER, Law & Order SVU. I remember her as a caseworker on Mr. Monk and the Kid in season 3. She passed away in a drowning accident in June 26th at the age of 61 in New York. June 27th, Marlon Briscoe, football player for the Buffalo Bills, Detroit Lions, Miami Dolphins, San Diego Chargers, Denver Broncos, and New England Patriots. He passed away at 76. I'm pretty sure he won a Super Bowl with the Dolphins as well, or two. He might have been part of that 1972 undefeated season team. And June 28th, Mike Schuler, basketball coach for the Portland Trail Blazers and Los Angeles Clippers. He passed away at the age of 81. That ends the month of June. Let's get to July, as soon as I can sort out these papers first. Sorry about that, folks. I'm kind of discombobulated. Let me set the record straight here, okay? This is July, right? Okay, good. August, September, we're in October, it's September, good. Okay, good. No, don't screw the papers up now. No, I can't do that. That's December, we gotta get to October. I'll worry about that when we get there. Okay. July 2nd, John Watson, the football player for the San Francisco 49ers and New Orleans Saints. He passed away at 73 on July 2nd. July 4th, Independence Day, Hammer and Hank Goldberg. I remember him on, the NFL, Sunday NFL Countdown, ESPN. He also a WQAM radio in Miami. Passed away at the age of 82. July 6th, James Caan, the actor, Godfather, Misery, Elf. I saw Misery not too long ago, and passed away at the age of 82. Ira Valentine, the football player for the Houston Oilers, passed away at the age of 59 on July 6th. July 7th, George Elder, baseball player for the St. Louis Browns, who are now the Baltimore Orioles, When I say now, they've been that since 1954. So, wow. George Elder, 101 years of age. He might be the last survivor of the St. Louis Browns. We'll see. Jimmy Williams, football player for the San Francisco 49ers and Seattle Seahawks, passed away at the age of 43 on July 7th. July 8th, Hugh Evans, the Hall of Fame basketball referee in the NBA, passed away at 81. Bob Parsons, Chicago Bears football player, or a football player for the Chicago Bears, passed away at the age of 72. Tony Sirico, you know him as Paulie Walnuts in The Sopranos, passed away at the age of 79. And Larry Storch of F Troop, he was a comedian as well, passed away at the age of 99 on July 8th. July 11th, Gary Moeller, college football coach for Illinois, Michigan, and also briefly the coach of the Detroit Lions, head coach, passed away at 81 on July 11th. Ducky Schofield, baseball player for the St. Louis Cardinals, Pittsburgh Pirates, and San Francisco Giants. Ducky Schofield, 87. Bernard Toone, basketball player for the Philadelphia 76ers, passed away at the age of 65. July 13th, Richard Anderson, former football player for the Carolina Panthers, he passed away at age 45. And Spencer Webb, college football player for the Oregon Ducks, he died at 22. July 14th, William Poogie Hart, singer for the Delphonics and songwriter, La La Means I Love You, great song, passed away at the age of 77. Jack Knight, comedian, TV writer and actor, Big Mouth, Busted Down, and Blackish, died at 28. And Ivana Trump, Czech-born businesswoman, media personality, and model, married Donald Trump. That was, I believe, his first wife. This was way before he was president. She passed away at the age of 73. Ivana Trump. Ivanka is the daughter, I believe, because it was, let's see, Donald Trump married Ivana, Marla Maples, and Melania right now. That's his current wife. Marla Maples, I believe, is the only kid he had there was Tiffany, right? Because it was Ivanka, Don Jr., and Eric, right? I'm pretty sure the first three kids were from Ivana. But that was July 14th. July 19th, Michael Henderson, 71, bass guitarist, Miles Davis bass guitarist, and a vocalist as well, passed away at 71. Charles Johnson, at the age of 50, he played football for the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Philadelphia Eagles, and the New England Patriots on July 19th. July 20th, Bill Burback, baseball player for the New York Yankees. He passed away at age 74. July 21st, Tarian Black, actor, Hill Street Blues, Oliver and Company in Savannah. He died at 82. Johnny Egan, the basketball player and coach. He died at 83. Jim Lynch, Hall of Fame football player for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish in college and won a Super Bowl with the Kansas City Chiefs in 1970. Super Bowl IV, I believe that was, with Lenny Dawson and Hank Stram. And Mike Garrett, I believe, right? I'm pretty sure, yeah. That was on July 21st. July 22nd, Dwight Smith, baseball player for the Chicago Cubs and Atlanta Braves, won a World Series with the Bravos in 1995. He died at the age of 58. July 23rd, Bob Raffleson, film director, Five Easy Pieces and The Postman Always Rings Twice. He was also a TV producer for the Monkees. He died at the age of 89. July 24th, Win Remmerswaal, Dutch-born baseball player for the Boston Red Sox. He passed away at the age of 68. July 25th, Paul Sorvino, Goodfellas, Dick Tracy, that championship season, Murder, She Wrote. Passed away at the age of 83, Paul Sorvino. He was also in Reds. He was, I don't want to say he was the muse of Warren Beatty, because I think Julie Christie was probably more of a muse than Paul Sorvino. But Paul Sorvino was in several movies that I just mentioned with Warren Beatty, including Reds and Dick Tracy. He was Lips Manless in Dick Tracy. He was Paulie Cicero in Goodfellas, cutting that garlic with the razor blade to make it melt in the pan when he was in prison, having lobsters and steak, living like kings. Now I want to go to prison. No, I don't actually. No, I don't want to go to prison. July 27th, Mary Alice, She was an actress. Fences, A Different World, and The Matrix Revolutions. She was a Tony winner in 1987. She passed away at 85. Tony Dow, Leave It to Beaver. The new Leave It to Beaver. He was also a television director as well. Babylon 5 and Coach. Passed away at 77. And Burt Metcalf. He was a Canadian-born actor and father of The Bride and Gidget, but he's also being known more as a television producer for MASH. Passed away at the age of 87. I just saw MASH when I was flipping channels not too long ago, and I saw Burt Metcalf's name on the screen. But he passed away at the age of 87. On July 27th. July 28th, Wayne Hawkins, the football player for the Oakland Raiders, passed away at the age of 84. And William White, football player for the Detroit Lions, Kansas City Chiefs, and Atlanta Falcons, passed away at the age of 56 on July 28th. July 29th, Jim Sons, singer for the Shadows of Night, and her name is G-L-O-R-I-I-A. Shadows of Night, he passed away at the age of 75. July 30th, Pat Carroll, actress, The Little Mermaid, Freedom Writers, The Danny Thomas Show, also a comedian. She passed away at the age of 95. Nichelle Nichols, Star Trek, the original series, Star Trek, the animated series, in most of the Star Trek movies in the William Shatner era. She passed away at the age of 89. You're her, I believe, right? July 31st, the greatest Boston Celtic of all time passed away in Bill Russell. The number 6 is now retired. Basketball coach, he's the greatest winner of all time. I think he had 11 rings. Basketball player, coach, Boston Celtics. He's the greatest Boston Celtic of all time. Bill Russell, probably the greatest defender of all time, too. And didn't score a lot of points. He didn't need to. He was blocking the ball, winning championships for the Boston Celtics. And was a coach, as I said, a coach as well. Sacramento Kings, Boston Celtics, I believe also the Golden State Warriors as well. And one of the greatest of all time. As I said, the number 6 is retired now. I know LeBron James is wearing that. It's retroactive. I should say grandfathered in. Meaning when LeBron retires, no one else is going to wear the number 6 ever again. And it's not as if I don't think the number 6 for LeBron will be retired for the Los Angeles Lakers or the Miami Heat. It could, but it's doubtful. We know the number 23 will be retired in Cleveland for LeBron James for sure. But Bill Russell, and in fact, if you've watched the NBA this season, they've got the number 6. Every team has the number 6 circle patch in black with the white 6 on their jerseys. That's for this season to honor the late, great Bill Russell. Let me get a swig of water. Oh, man. Woo. August 1st, Lars Tate, football player. He started off with the Georgia Bulldogs, but played for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Chicago Bears in the NFL. He passed away at the age of 56. Jimmy Burson, football player for the old St. Louis Cardinals and Atlanta Falcons. I think he was one of the first Atlanta Falcons. Passed away at the age of 81. Vin Scully, the voice of the Los Angeles Dodgers, the Brooklyn Dodgers, NBC Sports, CBS Sports on the radio, one of the greatest broadcasters of all time. He's the reason why I call them the Dodgers. It's a form of flattery and tribute to him. He passed away at the age of 94. And, wow, one of the greats, one of the all-time greats, the storyteller of storytellers, in a time where baseball broadcasters don't tell stories anymore. August 3rd, Jack Delaplane, football player for the Pittsburgh Steelers, Washington, and the Chicago Bears. He passed away at age 68. August 4th, Neil Castles, race car driver in NASCAR, one of the first NASCAR drivers. He died at 87. Darren Gilbert, football player for the New Orleans Saints. He passed away at the age of 63. Sam Gooden, singer of The Impressions, passed away at the age of 87 on August 4th. August 5th, Dean Carlson, football player for the Green Bay Packers and Kansas City Chiefs, died at 72. August 6th, Steve Corton, the basketball player for Philadelphia 76ers. He started at St. Joseph's, so he's got all kinds of Philadelphia history with him. At the age of 79, Steve Corton. David Muse, singer and songwriter and composer for Firefall and the Marshall Tucker Band. Heard it in a love song in Firefall, You Are the Woman That I've Always Dreamed of. Great song. I have that on my 70s playlist on my YouTube channel as well. David Muse passed away at 73. And Gene Visser, college basketball coach at Weber State in northern Arizona, passed away at 81. August 8th, Lamont Dozier, Hall of Fame songwriter, You Can't Hurry Love, Reach Out, I'll Be There, and record producer, Holland Dozier Holland, and singer as well. You Can't Hurry Love, of course, for the Super Duper Supremes. Reach Out, I'll Be There for the Four Tops. Passing away at the age of 81. Darren Gilbert, football player for the New Orleans Saints, passing away at the age of 58 on August 8th. August 9th, Gene LaBelle, the professional wrestler as well as martial artist, stunt performer and actor. The LaBelle Lock, the thing that Bryan Danielson in All Elite Wrestling likes to put his opponents in. That's the LaBelle Lock. It's named after Gene LaBelle. He passed away at the age of 89. August 11th, Anne Heche, actress, Psycho, 6 Days, 7 Nights, and Another World. Passed away at the age of 53. Was at one time Ellen DeGeneres' girlfriend. And Bill Pittman, guitarist and session musician for the Wrecking Crew. You know, that crew that dominated the American scene in the 60s to try to counter the Beatles. The Wrecking Crew, of course, helping the Beach Boys out. And other acts and the like back in the day. He passed away at age 102. August 12th, Togo Palazzi, basketball player for the Boston Celtics and the Syracuse Nationals. And he coached the Holy Cross Crusaders. He passed away at 90. August 13th, Denise Dowles, actress for Beverly Hills 90210, The Guardian, and Coach Carter. She passed away at age 64. August 14th, George Kernick, baseball player for the St. Louis Cardinals, passed away at age 82. Charlie Frazier, 83, football player for the Houston Oilers and the Boston Patriots back in the AFL days. August 16th, Wayne Yates, basketball player for the Los Angeles Lakers, and he coached the Memphis State Tigers. I think that was his alma mater. August 17th, Jim Muller, sportscaster for the Cleveland Browns, passed away at the age of 79. August 18th, Virginia Patton, It's a Wonderful Life, Black Eagle and the Lucky Stiff. She was an actress, passed away at 97. John Powell, discus thrower, who's an Olympic bronze medalist in 1976 and in 1984. He passed away at 75. August 19th, Riddick Parker, football player for the Seattle Seahawks, Baltimore Ravens, and New England Patriots, passed away at the age of 49. And John Walkenfuss, what's the Walkenfuss? Passed away at the age of 73 on August 19th. He played for the Detroit Tigers and Philadelphia Phillies. August 21st, Alex Panshin, writer and science fiction critic, passed away at the age of 82. August 22nd, Jerry Allison, Hall of Fame drummer for the Crickets and songwriter, That'll Be the Day, and Peggy Sue, wrote those both with or for Buddy Holly. He passed away at the age of 82. Gary Gaines, football coach for Abilene Christian and Permian, was basically the subject for Friday Night Lights. He passed away at the age of 73. You know, the whole football is religion in Texas. Pretty much, Gary Gaines was that guy that they based Friday Night Lights after, the coach. August 24th, Lenny Dawson, inside the NFL and Hall of Fame football player for the Pittsburgh Steelers, Cleveland Browns, and Kansas City Chiefs. No one wears the number 16 anymore in Kansas City with Lenny Dawson, who at one time was the greatest Kansas City Chief of all time, but it's looking like Pat Mahomes is going to be the greatest Kansas City Chief of them all when it's all said and done. He passed away at the age of 87. I used to love watching Inside the NFL. He was so great in that. Oh. August 27th, Robert Lupone, actor, Jesus Christ superstar, The Sopranos, and a chorus line, passed away at the age of 76. Ernie Zampese, let me try that again, hold on. Ernie Zampese, football coach for the San Diego Chargers. He was a head coach as well, San Diego State, longtime coordinator. I know that Troy Aikman and Brett Favre had tributes to him. He passed away at the age of 86. On August 29th, Steve White, football player for the Tampa Bay Bucks and the New York Football Jets. He was a blogger for SB Nation as well. Passed away at age 48. And Lee Thomas, baseball player for the Boston Red Sox and Los Angeles Angels, and was an executive for the Philadelphia Phillies, passed away at the age of 86. That ends the month of September. Take a little bit of a break. And let you know what's going on. I am dedicating this entire time to those that we lost in 2022. And we're going to move on to September in a bit. Let me just sort out the papers for October. Okay. October. I'm doing this with one hand, so bear with me. Bear with me. October. All right. Hold on. Okay, I think I've got a firm grasp on things now. Okay, there we go. September 1st, John Gamble, the baseball player for the Detroit Tigers, passed away at 74. Ernie Shavers, the boxer who nearly beat Muhammad Ali. Some say he did. He was a big guy. I remember seeing pictures and stock footage of the fight he had against Muhammad Ali, and he was a beast. He passed away at the age of 78. Mark Littell, baseball player for the Kansas City Royals and St. Louis Cardinals, passed away at age 69 on September 5th. September 6th, Guy Morris, football player for the Philadelphia Eagles and New England Patriots and head coach of his alma mater, Kentucky, passed away at the age of 71. September 7th, Rami Hunt Revson, nightclub singer and inventor of the scrunchie, passed away at the age of 78. Bernard Shaw, one of the first journalists on CNN when it launched back in the early 80s, passed away at 82. He died on September 7th. September 8th, Ted Schreiber, baseball player for the New York Mets, passed away at 84. Sonny West, songwriter for Oh Boy and Rave On, passed away at the age of 85 on September 8th. September 9th, Shelby Jordan, football player for the New England Patriots and the Los Angeles Raiders, passed away at 70. And Ray Ripplemeyer, baseball player for the Washington Senators and a coach for the Philadelphia Phillies, passed away at the age of 89. September 10th, Frank Signetti Sr., football coach at IUP Crimson Hawks and West Virginia Mountaineers, passed away at 84. September 11th, Roy Schmidt, football player for the New Orleans Saints, Atlanta Falcons, Washington, and Minnesota Vikings, passed away at 80. Anthony Varvaro, baseball player for the Seattle Mariners, Atlanta Braves, and Boston Red Sox, passed away at age 37. September 14th, Cal Browning, baseball player for the St. Louis Cardinals, passed away at 84. John Stearns on September 15th, baseball player and coach for the New York Mets, passed away at age 71. September 19th, Herb Lusk, football player for the Philadelphia Eagles and later became a pastor, passed away at 69. Maury Wills, who should be in the Baseball Hall of Fame, is not though. He now, if he's going to go, it will be posthumously. Age 89 for the Los Angeles Dodgers, Pittsburgh Pirates, and manager of the Seattle Mariners at one time. Was he the first Seattle Mariners manager? He might have been, actually. Maury Wills. On September 19th, age 89. September 21st, Greg Lee, basketball player for the Portland Trail Blazers, passed away at age 70. Darryl Mudra, Hall of Fame college football coach at North Dakota State University, University of Arizona, and Eastern Illinois University, passed away at the age of 93. September 22nd, Nick Mumley, the football player for the New York Titans, who later became the New York Football Jets, he passed away at the age of 85. September 23rd, Louise Fletcher, actress, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, Star Trek, Deep Space Nine, and Firestarter, won an Oscar, by the way, in 1976, passed away at the age of 88. Nurse Ratched. Bill Fulcher, football player for Washington and a coach at Georgia Tech, passed away at the age of 88. We're now on September 6th rather. Tom Reed, college football player and coach for the Miami Hurricanes and North Carolina State Wolfpack, passed away at 77. And at September 28th, Coolio, 59 years of age, Gangsta's Paradise, Fantastic Voyage, 1, 2, 3, 4, something new, as well as It's All the Way Live, an actor as well, a Grammy Award winner for Gangsta's Paradise, 1996. I think he was nominated for an Oscar for Gangsta's Paradise for the movie Dangerous Minds, because that's where it comes from. I have Fantastic Voyage on my 90s playlist, and I have Gangsta's Paradise on my Soundtrack Smashes playlist on my YouTube channel. Gavin Escobar, football player for the Dallas Cowboys, passed away at the age of 31. And Tom Urbani, baseball player for the St. Louis Cardinals and Detroit Tigers, passed away at the age of 54 on September 28th. We now go to the month of October. Jim Sweeney, October 1st, football player for the New York Jets, football Jets, Pittsburgh Steelers, and Seattle Seahawks, passed away at the age of 60. Tyrone Davis, this is October 2nd. Tyrone Davis, football player for the Green Bay Packers and New York football Jets, he passed away at the age of 50. Shirley Englehorn, professional golfer of the LPGA, passed away at the age of 81. Jeff Jordan, football player for the Minnesota Vikings, passed away at the age of 78. Sasheen Littlefeather, actress, counselor at Crime, Johnny Firecloud, and Winterhawk, model and Native American activist, longtime confidant of Marlon Brando, had a friend essentially a friend in need when it came to that kind of activism. She passed away at the age of 75. John Shitters, football player for the Cincinnati Bengals, New Orleans Saints, and Baltimore Colts, passed away at 75. And Bill Whitaker, football player for the Green Bay Packers and Old St. Louis Cardinals, now Arizona Cardinals, passed away at the age of 62. October 3rd, Tiffany Jackson, basketball player for the New York Liberty, Tulsa Shock, and Los Angeles Sparks. She was also a coach in the WNBA, passed away at the age of 37. And Al Nieger, baseball player for the Philadelphia Phillies, passed away at the age of 83. October 4th, Loretta Lynn, country singer, coal miner's daughter, You Ain't Woman Enough to Take My Man, and One's on the Way, age 90. And Eleanor Moore, basketball player, baseball player, Eleanor Moore, baseball player, Fort Wayne Daisies and the Grand Rapids Chicks, basically one of the inspirations for a league of their own, passed away at the age of 88. October 5th, Tommy Boggs, baseball player for the Atlanta Braves and Texas Rangers. He was coach of Concordia University in Texas. He passed away at the age of 66. Sarah Lee, who was a professional wrestler in the WWE. She was on WWE Tough Enough, passed away at the age of 30. Lenny Lipton, poet and lyricist, Puff the Magic Dragon, passed away at the age of 82. Going on to October 6th, Ivy Jo Hunter, songwriter behind A Painted Smile, Loving You Is Sweeter Than Ever, and Dancing in the Street, 82. And Judy Tenuta, 72, comedian and actress, The Weird Al Show, Going Down in La La Land, Love Bites. She was also an accordionist. Her and Weird Al are like the only comedian accordionists there are right now, or were. She's since passed on. I think she dated Weird Al at one time. And so October 7th, Leon Burton, football player. He started off at the Arizona State Sun Devils and later the New York Titans, who are now the New York football Jets. He passed away at 87 on October 7th. Bill Snyder, shot putter and Olympic champion in 1960, passed away at 89. And Robert Pennywell, football player for the Atlanta Falcons, passed away at the age of 67. October 8th, Chuck Bradley, football player for the San Diego Chargers, Miami Dolphins, and Chicago Bears. He passed away at 71. Ron Gasser, 82, football player for the Green Bay Packers. Julian Hammond played for the Denver Rockets, who are now the Houston Rockets. Passed away at age 79. And Frank Uso, football player for the New York football Giants, Minnesota Vikings, and Oakland Raiders. He passed away at age 86 on October 8th. We go to October 9th. Eileen Ryan, actress in Magnolia, Parenthood, as well as Benny and June. She passed away at 94. October 10th, Michael Callan, actor, Cat Ballou, Gidget Goes Hawaiian. He passed away at the age of 86. Dick Ellsworth, baseball player for the Chicago Cubs, Boston Red Sox, and Cleveland as well. Passed away at 82. Jim Niekamp, hockey player for the Detroit Red Wings. He passed away at the age of 76. Joe Roberts, basketball player at the Ohio State University. He was also played for the Syracuse Nationals in the NBA and became a coach. James Wright, he passed away at 86. James Wright, the historian, president of Dartmouth College from 1998 to 2009, passed away at 83 on October 10th. October 11th, Angela Lansbury, British-born actress, The Manchurian Candidate, Bedknobs and Broomsticks, Murder, She Wrote, as well as Beauty and the Beast. A 5-time Tony Award winner, passing away at the age of 96. Willie Spence, singer on American Idol, passed away at 23. on October 11th. October 12th, Jim Bailey, baseball player for the Cincinnati Reds, passed away at 87. Luscious Jackson, basketball player for the Philadelphia 76ers and the national team for the Olympics. He was an Olympic champion in 1964. Passed away at the age of 80. October 13th, John Brittenham, football player for the San Diego Chargers. He played at his alma mater, Arkansas, the Razorbacks, but at 78. Mo Savransky, baseball player for the Cincinnati Redlegs, passed away at 93. Bruce Sutter, the Baseball Hall of Famer for the Chicago Cubs, St. Louis Cardinals, and Atlanta Braves, passed away at the age of 69. October 15th, Ken Cordes, the football player for the Pittsburgh Steelers, passed away at age 80. Joyce Sims, the R&B singer-songwriter, come into my life, passed away at the age of 63. October 19th, Dave Herman, 81, football player, New York Football Jets. Charlie Trippi, Hall of Fame player for the Chicago Cardinals, played in sneakers to get good traction, passed away at the age of 100 on October 19th, the Pro Football Hall of Famer. October 21st, Jim Bola, the college basketball coach, the UNLV Lady Rebels in Hawaii Rainbow as well, passed away at the age of 70. October 22nd, Bert Gustafson, football coach for the Green Bay Packers, passed away at the age of 96. October 23rd, Walt Corey, the football player and coach for the Kansas City Chiefs and Buffalo Bills, passed away at the age of 84. October 24th, Ash Carter was the Secretary of Defense the last 2 years of the Obama administration. He passed away at the age of 68. Leslie Jordan, the actor, Will and Grace, Hearts of Fire, Call Me Kat, an Emmy winner in 2006. I remember him in Mr. Monk and the Three Pies, participating as one of the hosts of the carnival that Monk and his assistant Sharona were in, Mr. Monk and the Three Pies, back in 2004, the second half of season 2. Also, Greg Philbin, rock bassist for REO Speedwagon, passed away at 75 on October 24th. October 26th, Julie Powell, author and subject of the movie Julie and Julia, passed away at the age of 49. October 28th, Vince Dooley, the Hall of Fame college football coach for the Georgia Bulldogs, won a national title in the early 80s for those Bulldogs. They are the reigning, defending, undisputed champs now, not with Dooley as at the helm, of course. They're taking on The Ohio State University later on tonight in the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. He passed away at the age of 90. And the killer, Jerry Lee Lewis, at the age of 87. Great Balls of Fire, whole lot of shaking going on. High School Confidential. The singer died at 87 on October 28th. October 29th, Kirk Gentry, the football player and coach for the Chicago Bears, passed away at 85. Paul Larson, football player for the Chicago Cardinals and Oakland Raiders, passed away at 90. October 30th, Mike Fanning, football player for the Los Angeles Rams, Detroit Lions, and Seattle Seahawks, passed away at 69. And on Halloween, John McVay, the football coach of the New York Football Giants, an executive, built the San Francisco 49ers from the ground up, drafting players like Joe Montana and Jerry Rice and Roger Craig and John Taylor, all the greats from the 80s. Passed away at the age of 91. And Adam Zimmer, football coach for the New Orleans Saints, Cincinnati Bengals, and Minnesota Vikings. Former Vikings head coach Mike Zimmer's son passed away at the age of 38 on October 31st. That ends the month of October. We're now on to the month of November. We're almost done here. I'm glad you've joined me for this tribute to those that we've lost in 2022. Let's move on to the month of November. November 1st, Steve Griffith, Olympic ice hockey player in 1984 at the age of 61. Takeoff, the rapper from the group Migos, died at 28. November 2nd, Ron Watts, basketball player for the Boston Celtics back in the day, passed away at 79. November 3rd, Ray Guy, the only Hall of Famer, that's a punter, or the only punter in the Hall of Fame, Pro Football Hall of Fame, played for the Oakland and Los Angeles Raiders and was a three-time Super Bowl champion. And in fact, of the 3 Super Bowls the Raiders have, he's a part of all 3 of them. And I think he's the only one that's a part of all 3 of them. Super Bowl 11, 15, and 18, I believe. Yes, 11, 15, and 18. Great guy. November 4th, Dave Butts, football player for Washington and the St. Louis Cardinals, died at 72. November 5th, Aaron Carter, the singer. Aaron's Party, Come and Get It, Leave It Up to Me, and Crush on You. Nick Carter's brother, Nick Carter of the Backstreet Boys' brother, died at 34. Coy Gibbs, 49, racing driver of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, the Busch Series, and also was a football player for the Stanford Cardinal and a coach as well. He died at the age of 49. I believe that's Joe Gibbs' son. November 6th, Jake Crowthamel, football player for the Boston Patriots, a coach and a college athletics administrator, died at 84. Peter McNabb, Canadian-born hockey player for the Buffalo Sabres, New Jersey Devils, and Vancouver Canucks, as well as a broadcaster, died at the age of 70 on November 6th. November 8th, Adrian Dingle, football player for the San Diego Chargers, died at 45. George Young, runner and Olympic bronze medalist in the 1968 Summer Olympic Games, he passed away at the age of 85. November 9th, Jane Gross, sports writer for for Newsday and the New York Times. I think Toni Kornheiser and her worked at one time for Newsday. Fred Hickman, longtime sportscaster, broadcaster for ESPN and CNN, also Black News Channel as well, doing sports, and an Emmy winner in 2004, I believe, for ESPN News. Passed away at the age of 66. November 10th, Kevin Conroy, the voice of Batman and Batman the Animated Series, as well as the Justice League and Batman Beyond. I also remember him in Murphy Brown as a Harvard guy trying to buy out companies. And I think he did. I think he owned the TV network that Murphy Brown was working on, along with Miles Silverberg. He passed away at the age of 66. Jack Reed, the baseball player for the New York Yankees, passed away at the age of 89. November 11th, Veterans Day. John Aniston, the Greek-born actor, Days of Our Lives, Love of Life, Search for Tomorrow, and the father of Jennifer Aniston. He passed away at the age of 89. And Gallagher, the comedian that loved to smash watermelons with his sledge-o-matic, with his sledgehammer, passed away at the age of 46. November 12th, Jim Bohannon, broadcaster, America in the Morning, and host of the Jim Bohannon Show, which I got to confess, this is for me personally. How do I say this? This is personal to me because the radio station that I work at, the Pulse of New Hampshire, had the Jim Bohannon Show for the longest time, and now Rich Valdez has that show. But yeah, Jim Bohannon, one of a kind, had the great voice. Gene Cipriano, woodwindist and session musician for the Wrecking Crew, passed away at the age of 94. November 13th, Chuck Carr, baseball player for the Florida Marlins, New York Mets, and Milwaukee Brewers, passed away at age 55. Anthony Johnson, MMA, UFC kind of guy, passed away at 38. Brent Moss, football player for the St. Louis Rams, his alma mater, the Wisconsin Badgers, passed away at the age of 50. November 16th, Nikki Acox, actress, Dark Blue, Jeepers Creepers 2 and Supernatural. She passed away at the age of 47 on November 16th. Robert Clary, French-born actor of Hogan's Heroes, as well as Days of Our Lives and The Bold and the Beautiful, passed away at the age of 96. I'm pretty sure he's the last actor from Hogan's Heroes. I'm trying to think of all the other actors that are on that show that are living, and I think he's the last one. November 17th, or the last surviving member of Hogan's Heroes. November 17th, Ken Mansfield, the record producer for the Beatles, he died at the age of 85. Ted Wheeler, Olympic middle distance runner in the 1956 games, he passed away at the age of 91. November 18th, Dwight Garner, the football player for Washington. He played for his alma mater, the California Golden Bears, before he made the pros to play for Washington, passed away at 58 on November 18th. November 19th, Jason David Frank of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, as well as Sweet Valley High and the Junior Defenders. He was also a mixed martial artist as well. He was really into a lot of disciplines like Muay Thai and Karate. I remember him as the Green Ranger and the White Ranger. And the Red Ranger was a Power Rangers Neo, something like that. But I remember him quite well. Passed away at the age of 49. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie, and Turbo, a Power Rangers movie. Had a cameo in the latest Power Rangers movie. And, I believe he did commit suicide, by the way. November 20th, Joyce Bryant, singer, dancer, and civil rights activist. She died at 95. Buster Drayton, boxer, died at 70. Gray Fredrickson, film producer of The Godfather, Apocalypse Now, and The Outsiders, winning an Oscar for The Godfather in 1974. He died at the age of 85. Dave Hillman, baseball player for the Chicago Cubs, Boston Red Sox, and New York Mets, died at 95. Mickey Kuhn, actor, Gone with the Wind, Red River and Broken Arrow, died at 90. I think he's the last surviving member from Gone with the Wind. November 22nd, George Donnelly, football player for the San Francisco 49ers, passed away at the age of 80. Ray Wazorek, age of 93, politician, member of the Executive Council of New Hampshire from 2002 to 2012, was mayor of Manchester from 1990 to 2000. I believe a part of the highway is named after Ray Wazorek as well. November 25th, Irene Cara, singer, Flashdance, What a Feeling, as well as actress, Sparkle and Fame. She won an Oscar for Flashdance, What a Feeling in 1983. Well, it was in 84. It was from 83, the year. The greatest year of all time, by the way. Charles Koppelman, music executive of EMI, and he also co-founded SBK Records. He's pretty much responsible for signing Vanilla Ice and Lenny Kravitz to that record label. Now, whatever your opinion is on Vanilla Ice or Lenny Kravitz, he's responsible for that, essentially. He passed away at the age of 82. November 24th, Börje Salming, the legendary hockey player, the first Swedish one inducted into the Hall of Fame, passed away from ALS at the age of 71 on November 24th. One of the greatest of all time, great defenseman, one of the greatest Toronto Maple Leafs of all time, and really revolutionized the position. And also revolutionized where he was from. Being from Sweden, a lot of the kind of, I don't say finesse, because he was not a finesse guy. He was a bruiser. A lot of those European players really kind of took to that revolution that Börje Salming started. And as you know, if you look at the Toronto Maple Leafs patch on their jerseys, they have Börje as a Maple Leaf in the Swedish flag with that yellow and blue. Okay, November 26th, Charles Wolf, the basketball coach for the Cincinnati Royals, who are now the Sacramento Kings and Detroit Pistons, passed away at 96. November 27th, Robert Blum, Olympic fencer in 1964 and 1968, passed away at 94. November 28th, Clarence Gilliard, Walker, Texas Ranger, and diehard and Matlock actor. He was also a university professor in Texas, I believe, passed away at the age of 66. November 29th, Mike Odessa, college hockey coach of Holy Cross, Rensselaer, and Rensselaer, passed away at the age of 77. Brad William Henke, actor, Orange is the New Black. He was also a football player for the Denver Broncos. So I guess that was Orange is the New Blue, when he played for the Broncos. He passed away at the age of 56. Steve Jensen, Olympic ice hockey player in 1976, passed away at 67. And Chuck Stobart, college football player for the Ohio Bobcats and head coach of the Toledo Rockets and Utah Utes, passed away at the age of 90. November 30th, Al Bemler, football player for the Buffalo Bills, passed away at 84. John Hadel, Hall of Fame football player for the San Diego Chargers, the Los Angeles Rams, and Green Bay Packers. He was also head coach as well, passed away at the age of 82. And that ends the month of November. We are now heading to the last month, the month of December. Here we go. December 1st, Skip Cleaver, politician and member of the New Hampshire House of Representatives from 2016 to 2022. Passed away at 78 while in office. Gaylord Perry, Hall of Fame baseball player for the San Francisco Giants, for Cleveland, San Diego, Texas, the Royals, the Yankees. I saw him, by the way, during the roll call of the Baseball Hall of Fame in 2007 when I went during induction day when Cal Ripken Jr. and Tony Gwynn got inducted. December 3rd, Ursula Hayden, professional wrestler, Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling, and she was an actress as well, died at 56. December 4th, June Blair, model and actress, The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet. She passed away at age 89. Nick Bollettieri of the Nick Bollettieri Tennis Academy in Florida produced a lot of superstars for men and women in tennis. Hall of Fame tennis coach, passed away at the age of 91. Bob McGrath of Sesame Street, a show that I grew up on. I remember Bob McGrath. Always had this sense of joy and smile and positivity. He passed away at the age of 90. And Norm Patitz, broadcaster and business executive of Westwood One and Podcast One. He's pretty much the guy that was pulling the strings for why Westwood One was successful. And Podcast One, one of the first podcast brands out there, passed away at the age of 79 on December 4th. December 5th, Kirstie Alley, Cheers, Veronica's Closet, Look Who's Talking, Drop Dead Gorgeous, Fat Actress. Saved Cheers. It didn't really save Cheers, but people moved on rather quickly when Shelley Long left Cheers as Diane Chambers, and Rebecca Howe, when she came along, Kirstie Alley, gave it some more, made it vivacious. She passed away at the age of 71. John McGeever, football player for the Denver Broncos and Miami Dolphins, passed away at age 83. And Jim Stewart, Hall of Fame record producer and co-founder of Stax Records, passed away at the age of 92. December 6th, Mills Lane, the boxing referee and television personality on Judge Mills Lane and Celebrity Deathmatch. Let's get it on! He was part of that ill-fated match between Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield, where Holyfield, a chunk of his ear got bit. Mills Lane was the referee of that in 1997. December 8th, Tom Flanagan, baseball player for the Chicago White Sox and St. Louis Cardinals, passed away at the age of 88. Richard Miller, visual effects artist for Star Trek, First Contact, and Who Framed Roger Rabbit, as well as The Rocketeer. He made those movies look clean as glass, smooth as glass. He made them look really, really good. He passed away at the age of 80. December 9th, Herbert Deutsch, composer, co-inventor of the Moog synthesizer, passed away at the age of 90. December 10th, Dave Bolin, Olympic sprinter in 1948, who was also a diplomat, ambassador to Botswana from 1974 to 1976, Lesotho from 1974 to 76, and East Germany, which no longer exists, it's just Germany now, 1977 to 1980. He passed away at 98, was a goodwill ambassador essentially to those countries. Paul Silas played basketball for the St. Louis Hawks, then the Atlanta Hawks, the Boston Celtics, and coach of the Charlotte Hornets. He was LeBron James's first coach for the Cleveland Cavaliers when he was a rookie in 2003. Passed away at the age of 79. Grant Wall, sports journalist, passed away at the age of 48 in Qatar during the World Cup. So that's what he was writing for. He was talking about the World Cup and the like. December 11th, Angelo Badalamenti, film director and composer, film and television composer, I should say, Twin Peaks, Blue Velvet, Mulholland Drive. You want to know why the music is so haunting, the compositions are so haunting in those productions? That's the reason why. Angelo Badalamenti is the reason why. He passed away at the age of 85. Ed Gorgian, college basketball coach at Loyola Marymount, passed away at the age of 96 on December 11th. December 12th, Mike Leach, college football head coach at Mississippi State, Texas Tech, and Washington State, passed away at the age of 61. Stuart Margolin, actor of The Rockford Files, Death Wish, and Brett Maverick. He won an Emmy, two-time Emmy winner, by the way, 1970 and 1980. He passed away at the age of 82. December 13th, Stephen Twitch, Boss, died at the age of 40. He was the Ellen DeGeneres show's music director, also Disney's Fairy Tale Weddings and So You Think You Can Dance. He died from suicide at the age of 40. Kurt Simmons, the baseball player for the Philadelphia Phillies, St. Louis Cardinals, and Chicago Cubs. He died at the age of 93. December 14th, Billy Moore, Hall of Fame basketball coach for Cal State Fullerton, UCLA Bruins, and 1976 Olympic women's team, passed away at the age of 79. December 15th, Bertha Barbie McNeil, singer of the Velvelettes, passed away at the age of 82. Dino Danelli, drummer of the Rascals, passed away at the age of 78. James Murakami, art director and production designer in the productions like Deadwood, Changeling, and Letters from Iwo Jima. He was pretty much Clint Eastwood's right-hand man when it came to making the production designs look really good. You want to know why Changeling and Letters from Iwo Jima look really good? James Murakami is one of the reasons why that is. He made him look good. He passed away at the age of 91. Lewis Orr, basketball player for the Indiana Pacers and New York Knicks and a coach at Seton Hall, passed away at the age of 64. Excuse me. December 16th, Rick Anderson, rock bassist for the Tubes, died at 75. Charlie Gracie, rock singer for Butterfly and Fabulous. Butterfly and Fabulous are the songs, by the way. Passed away at the age of 86. Drew Griffin on December 17th of CNN, died unexpectedly at the age of 60. December 19th, Tom Browning, who threw a no-hitter. I think he actually threw a perfect game, if I remember correctly, for the Cincinnati Reds. He also played for the Kansas City Royals, died at the age of 62. Sonia Eddy, actress, General Hospital, Those Who Can't, and Barbershop. She was a registered nurse in real life and usually played a nurse in most productions. I remember her in Mr. Monk and The Very, Very Old Man in 2003. She played, guess what? A nurse. She passed away at the age of 55. She was also Rebecca De Mornay in Seinfeld. Remember that? Gary Nafel, football player for the Green Bay Packers, San Francisco 49ers, and Chicago Cardinals, passed away at the age of 90. Al Smith, basketball player for the Denver Rockets, passed away at age 75. And Steve Smager, the Hall of Fame boxing referee, died at the age of 72. December 20th, Charles Edwin Brown, football player for the Oakland Raiders, passed away at the age of 86. Denny Doyle, baseball player for the Philadelphia Phillies, Boston Red Sox, and California Angels, he passed away at the age of 78. Franco Harris, Hall of Fame football player for the Pittsburgh Steelers and Seattle Seahawks, died just before the days of the 50th anniversary of the Immaculate Reception. He died at the age of 72. December 21st, Rodney Hillman, football player for the Denver Broncos, Minnesota Vikings, and San Diego Chargers. He passed away at the age of 31. Diane McBain, actress, Spin Out, Surfside, and the original Batman, Batman. She died at the age of 81. December 22nd, Tom Bell, Jamaican-born songwriter, the Rubber Band, La La Means I Love You, and Mama Can't Buy You Love. He was an arranger and a record producer. He died at the age of 79. Steve Bonar, professional wrestler and also out of UFC, Ultimate Fighting, passed away at the age of 45. December 23rd, Cotton Davidson, football player for the Baltimore Colts, the Dallas Texans, and the Oakland Raiders. The Dallas Texans became the Kansas City Chiefs, by the way. He passed away at the age of 91. December 24th, Demetrius Johnson, football player for the Detroit Lions and Miami Dolphins. He died at the age of 61. Kathy Whitworth, Hall of Fame professional golfer. She died at 83. December 26th, Fred Valentine, baseball player for the Baltimore Orioles and Washington Senators. So he played for both teams of the Beltway. 87. December 27th, Arnie Farron, basketball player. He played at his alma mater, Utah, but played for the Minneapolis Lakers, who are now the Los Angeles Lakers. He may be the last of the Minneapolis Lakers. He passed away at the age of 97. December 28th, Dick Flavin, poet, also was a PA announcer for the Boston Red Sox and worked for the Boston Red Sox as well. He passed away at the age of 86. December 29th, Jason Strife was a professional wrestler. He died at the age of 37. December 30th, which was yesterday, Barbara Walters, television personality with The View. Well, she was a talk show host with The View. Was 20/20 and Today. Worked at NBC before she worked at ABC, but was at ABC for the longest time. She died at 93. Don West, wrestling broadcaster, Impact Wrestling and TV pitchman, died at 59. And today, December 31st, 2022, Pope Benedict XVI died at the age of 95. He was the last pope before the pope we have now in the Catholic Church. Some local deaths, passings before we end this segment. Harvey Smith, who got me into radio, was my reading teacher, passed away in spring of 2022. Lee Owen, who was instrumental in a lot of baseball and growing the game of baseball in New Hampshire, passed away in the summer. His son was my baseball coach, Scott Owen. who's currently still a baseball coach at Concord High School and a gym teacher at Runlet Middle School. Scott Owen is. And Lee Owen passed away in the summer. We did a tribute during Post 21, when I was a PA announcer for Post 21 baseball. We did a moment of silence for Lee Owen. David Salvis, who was a neighbor of mine in the 90s and the 2000s, passed away this past fall. And Sally Stevens, who was a neighbor of mine as well when I was growing up, she recently passed away days ago here in the winter. This is a tribute to those that we lost in 2022. 2023 is coming in a few hours. And I want to thank you for, and as I said, it was a tough year in 2022. We lost a lot of people. We lost a lot of celebrities. We lost a lot of people who were near and dear to our hearts. We'll never forget them, though. In 2022, the amount of joy that they brought us, whether it was sports, whether it was entertainment, whether it was anything else, whether we knew them personally, as the four people that I just mentioned, they brought us joy in our lives, and we should certainly should never, ever forget that.